This is a kind of a completion of the screened-in room that I built at the house. I wanted a wall that would enclose part of it. I wanted part of it to be screened. I wanted part of it to be enclosed so that the wind and the rain doesn't destroy the furniture, and it makes it a little bit more usable throughout the entire year. And part of it was I wanted wainscoting. And there's many different types of wainscoting. You can have stained gray, very expensive. What I was looking for was more of a rough outdoor barsy type where you can put a drink straight on it. Part of designing wainscot is the layout, and to make it look kind of a rule of thumb, they like to split walls up into odd numbers. They don't want to see even squares. Okay? They want to see, example here, 3 or 5. Another thing, when you're doing this, think about where your electric is, where your plumbing is. You don't want to have any of that kind of problem. But I'm going to show you how I built this, and it's rather inexpensive. I just used simple materials, 2x4s, 2x6s, 3/4 inch plywood, and these panels in here, they can be pretty much anything that you want. They can be, I like using plywood type material so that I don't get movement, but in this particular instance I used 1/2 inch cabinet grade plywood, but you could use T111, you could use wainscoting. They have material directly for that. And let me just show you real quick how I did this. It's super easy. This is a project anybody can do. The first thing that I do, depending on how wide I want this rail here, I take 2x4s and I nail it or screw it straight to the wall, just like that. Okay? That determines my depth out. And then I'll just put plywood right on it. And I want my seams of the plywood to fall, in these little blanks so that I don't end up with a seam in the middle. So, real quick, I put this up on the wall. 1/2 inch plywood is what I used here. It could be T111, that exterior plywood. Here's a little piece of that. That would give it a whole nother look. Here's a different look. You could have used something like that. That would have been very nice. And then what I do is I take my 2x6 and I pop it right on top just like that. Okay. If I want, I can take a router and route the edge, sand it, knock it out, whatever I want. I don't use fancy wood for any of this. This is just, it's outdoors, it's for a screened-in room, like I said. It's not for some expensive mansion, some expensive den. And then what I do is, keeping with building on a budget, I use 3/4 inch plywood. And I just rip it to width. And for example, right here, I'll put maybe 2 pieces of 3/4 inch plywood on it, and then I have one here. So I'll put plywood on the sides, plywood stacked in the middle, and that'll make my column. And that's what hides my seams, because these are 4x8s. And then I'll wrap them. There are so many different ways that you can do wainscoting, and this is just one. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll catch you on the next one.